Naturally, a number of studies conducted today have shown that Nvidia is a successful company. I believe that the stock has now dropped sufficiently to begin luring investors. All high multiple stocks came storming back today, so I don't want to make too much of Nvidia, but it would have been a terrible indication if Nvidia hadn't been able to rise. Fortunately, it didn't occur. However, following tonight's close, Cadence, a close partner of Nvidia, reported lower sales and profitability, which is unexpectedly negative news. As a result, I'm not sure how much staying power Nvidia stock will have tomorrow, the home of suffering. Since Nvidia is reportedly doing really well, I need to look at this more to see how it will affect the company. I don't understand. I believe that the market was looking for further details about Blackwell. Additionally, I'm attempting to listen to the entire call and read the transcript. What does the real-world deployment look like? It appears that this was a production issue rather than a fundamental design flaw with Blackwell. And is there a delay of any kind in the deployment schedule and consequently in the product's revenue? I got kind of tripped up there right immediately because I was so clear and it wasn't clear enough. Let's see. To enhance Blackwell's yield functionality, we implemented a significant modification. It's fantastic. Today, we're sampling Blackwell everywhere in the world. People are being given tours of our operational Blackwell systems. Images of Blackwell systems are widely available online. Volume production has begun. In Q4, volume production will begin shipping. Our Blackwell revenues will reach billions of dollars in Q4, and we will continue to grow from there. Naturally, at first, there is a much more need for Blackwell than there is supply due to the high demand, but starting in Q4, we will have an abundance of supply and be able to scale up. After generating billions of dollars in sales, we will scale up into the first quarter, the second quarter, and the next year. Next year is going to be fantastic as well. What need exists for accelerated computing outside of the hyperscalers and Meta, Jensen? About 45% of our entire data center industry is made up of hyperscalers. Today, we are comparatively diverse. It's quite diversified because we have industries, businesses, internet service providers, hyperscalers, and sovereign AAs. The other 55% are not hyperscalers. Accelerated computing is now the first application used throughout that data center. Naturally, everything is done by accelerated computing, starting with the models and generative AI that we are most familiar with. Fundamentally, however, we also process databases, pre- and post-process data before using it for scientific simulations, generative AI, transcoding, computer graphics, and of course, image processing. Generative artificial intelligence is one of the many uses for accelerated computing that exist. So let me see what else I can say. I believe that's please let me jump in on sovereign AI, Jensen. You and I previously discussed that, and it was fascinating to hear the reasoning behind it. This fiscal year, sovereign AI sales are expected to be in the low double digits, I believe you stated. But what does that mean to the average person? Does it imply dealings with particular governments? Where if? That's not always the case. Frequently, it involves a specific area service provider that has received government funding. For instance, in order to help a number of internet companies and telecoms finance their AI infrastructure, the Japanese government publicly offered subsidies totaling, I believe, a couple of $1 billion. India is developing its own AI infrastructure as part of a sovereign AI strategy. Canada, United Kingdom, France, Italy, I'm missing someone, Singapore and Malaysia, and many more nations are providing subsidies for their regional data centers in order to expand their AI infrastructure. They now understand that their digital knowledge is a component of their national and natural resources, just like the land they are sitting on and the air above them. They also understand that their nation's knowledge and digital data are also their natural resources, and they needed to take that, process it, and turn it into their digital intelligence for the country. Thus, we refer to this as sovereign AI. Eventually, practically every nation on the planet will realize this and expand their AI infrastructure. The word resource, which you used, Jensen, makes me consider the energy needs in this situation. I believe you mentioned on the call that the computational requirements for the next generation models will be orders of magnitude higher. However, how will the energy requirements rise, and what benefit do you think Nvidia offers in that regard? Increasing the performance and efficiency of our next generation is, therefore, the most crucial thing we do. Energy efficiency, or higher performance with the same amount of power, or the same performance at a lower power, is the top priority. Blackwell is therefore many times more performant than Hopper at the same level of power used. Using liquid cooling is the second method. We support both liquid and air cooling. However, liquid cooling uses a lot less energy. You will therefore get a significant boost when all of that is combined. However, it's crucial to understand that AI doesn't give a damn about where it attends school. Therefore, it is likely that AI will be educated in a different location, reappear, and be utilized in close proximity to the general public, or even run on your computer or mobile device. Therefore, we will train huge models, but the objective is not to run the large models constantly. For certain premium services and highly valuable AAs, you can undoubtedly do that. Nevertheless, it's highly probable that these big models will subsequently aid in training and instructing lesser models. In the end, we have one or a small number of large models that can train a large number of little models that are used everywhere. Jensen, you made it quite evident that there is a higher need than there is supply for generative AI products that can be built on models or even at the GPU level. Explain to me the supply dynamics for your products, specifically with regard to Blackwell, and whether you anticipate a sequential improvement from quarter to quarter or at some point by the end of the fiscal year to the following year. The fact that we are expanding would indicate that our supply is getting better, and our supply chain is one of the biggest in the world. Our amazing partners are helping us expand, and they're doing a fantastic job. We are among the fastest-growing technological businesses in history, as you are aware, and none of that would have been possible without both a strong supply and a high demand. We anticipate that Q1 will have more supply than Q4. Q4 will have more supply than Q3, and Q3 will have more supply than Q2. Therefore, I believe that compared to this past year, our supply situation will be much better heading into next year. Blackwell is simply such a surge in terms of demand, and a number of things are taking place. The size of the foundation models is increasing from hundreds of billions of parameters to trillions of parameters just for the foundation model creators. Additionally, they are learning more languages. They are learning the language of pictures, sounds, films, and even 3D graphics in addition to human language. They can comprehend what they see and produce what they are asked to produce once they have mastered these languages. They are studying the language of physics, chemistry, proteins. It may involve fluids or particle physics. Thus, kids are learning a variety of languages, or what we refer to as modalities, but in essence, they are learning the languages. As a result, these models are becoming larger, learning from more data, and having more creators than they did a year ago. As a result of all these many modalities, the number of model builders has increased significantly, and the frontier model is only one. The foundation model creators themselves have experienced significant growth. Additionally, the market for generative AI has expanded significantly, moving from ISPs to startups, and now businesses and nations are joining the fray. As a result, demand is rising significantly.